Okay, this is a video about when you should realize you should move out of your parents' house. It's not a video on how to move out of your parents' house, but on what you should be feeling when you feel like you should be moving out of your parents' house. I will make another video about how to move out of your parents' house. I've done it once, I will be doing it again anytime soon, but last time I moved out of my parents' house, I made mistakes that I have corrected now, and I'm just waiting on just the right time before I move out. But last time that I moved out of my parents' house, I had this one specific feeling that made me move out of my parents' house, and that was that I didn't feel like I was progressing here at home. I felt like I was stuck in one of other vicious cycle um, that kept repeating. I felt like I just wasn't feeling appreciated here at home. Even though I do know my parents love me, they were reducing me into they were reducing me to just a piece of paper, a diploma is what it's called, and I just started feeling that like I wasn't worth anything unless I got a degree. I still haven't got a degree after all these years of studying and going to college and university. Um, and that feeling of not being adequate at home was the number one reason that I moved out, and I didn't regret it at all because every time I was out of the house, like I was in dorms for a short period of time as well, and even when I was just in dorms and I didn't officially moved out of my parents' house, I still went to my parents' house in the weekends. I felt like I actually learned something about life. I learned about the person that I was and learned about the person that I wanted to become. Um, and I kind of felt like I was losing that every time I went home. Like I did, like I was becoming the person that they wanted to be, but not the person that I wanted to be. Okay. So when I moved out, I started learning more about life, learning more about the goal of life, and what you can achieve in life. And the only reason that to, I had to move back home was because I couldn't afford to live, even with roommates. Um, and also, I got stressed out because I still wasn't able to get a degree, and I thought it was because I had moved out, but I came to realize that the not getting a degree was all in my own power and not not based on well, environment plays a role in it too, but it was not based on me moving out of my parents' house. It was more about me not focusing on my goals anymore. So now that I've moved back here, I still feel that I still get a feeling of inadequacy. I still get a feeling of not being able to do what I want to do. Still get a feeling that um, I'm not worth anything unless I get a degree. And now, so first off, the first feeling is if you don't feel adequate enough at home, if you don't feel appreciated at home. Second feeling is when you don't feel like you're at home. And what is a great example for me is even though I live at home, I still don't have a key to this home. I still don't have a key to one of the doors at home. So if I want to stay late out and come back late, I'll have to call someone that is in the house, probably sleeping at that hour, and ask them to open the door. If I if by chance everyone is out of the house and I'm the last one here in the house to leave, um, I have to double check I have everything in my pockets because once I close that door, I can't get it back in unless someone comes back with the keys. My dad is the only one with a key to the front door. We have one key, exactly one key in the house for the three back doors that we have. And that thing is always either inside the house or one person has it outside of the house, which is most of the time my mother. Meaning that I don't feel at home. I don't feel like I have any control over when or where I can be outside of the house. Now, number three is no feeling of having any sort of privacy. Um, what I really don't like, I appreciate it, but I really don't like it is when I go out the house and I get back home and I get into my room and I just notice that my mom has been cleaning in my room. Though I appreciate the gesture, it gives me the feeling that what could she have been changing in my room? What could she have misplaced? What could she have touched? What shouldn't have been touched because I was leaving it at a certain place for a certain reason? Um, and a feeling of not your room not really being yours. That is what annoys me, and that's what only pushes me away more and more. She could have, communicated it, and so I was at least aware of what was happening. But she never does. She just cleans up, thinks that's what she's supposed to do, even though I'm old enough to clean up my own room. I just choose not to. Um, and that just irks me. I appreciate the gesture. I love my parents, but it's my room. It's my privacy. It's the only space in this house that I feel like I can do not even whatever I want because I don't feel comfortable doing whatever I want. But the only space that I feel like that's a kind of mine, at least 50% mine. Any room else in this room, I don't feel like it's mine, even the house. So yeah, those are my main reasons. Number one being you don't feel adequate enough, you don't feel like you are appreciated. Number two, you don't feel like you're at home, even though it is the home you grew up in. And number three, no sense of privacy. And then, of course, honorable mentions force the pressure of your parents to live the life that they had envisioned for you, even though it's not the life that you want. What are other uh, honorable mentions are having to tell you at a certain age that you're still living with your parents is a turn off for finding a partner, and number one, and secondly, people don't really take you seriously. Well, can't take you seriously if you say that you still live with your parents and you have um, a curfew, which I do have, by the way, a curfew, which is ridiculous at this age. But um, now this was just a rant, a story time about when you should feel should be moving out of your parents' house, and I will be filming a whole nother video in the future about what and how to move out of your parents' house and making sure you don't have to come back ever again. Peace out, guys.